Good morning, children. Welcome to our new lesson in science, and it is all about ecological systems in the environment. What are the things that you see in the ecosystem? In what ways are ecosystems similar? In what ways are they different? So, ecosystem is a community of interacting organisms and their environment. As a system, they are linked through nutrient cycles and energy flows. The interactions can be beneficial or harmful. The garden in your study area is an ecosystem. Yes, garden is an example of ecosystem. Other examples of ecosystems are pond, forest, flower pot, and desert. We have the types of ecosystems. Ecosystems are classified as terrestrial or aquatic based on where they are found. When we say terrestrial, ecosystem consists of interaction between plants, animals, and non-living things that occur in land. Again, terrestrial is that occur on land, lupa. While aquatic is from the word aqua, happens in any water-based environment. Okay, examples of terrestrial ecosystem. We have grasslands, forest, desert, and tundras. In aquatic ecosystem, it is divided into two. We have marine ecosystems and freshwater ecosystems. So, what are marine ecosystems? This includes oceans, estuaries, coral reefs, and in freshwater, ponds, river and streams, and wetland or swamp. Okay, let's go to the example of terrestrial ecosystems. Again, what are terrestrial? Occur on land, lupa. Okay, we have the examples: grasslands, forest, deserts, and tundras. So look at the picture. Grassland is an open area of flat land that mainly comprises of grasses with a few trees and shrubs. Because it is located in tropical or temperate regions, a grassland does not have enough rainfall to support the growth of trees and many other plants. There are two kinds of grasslands. We have savanna and prairie. Savanna has a seasonally dry climate and thus can support only a few trees. A prairie, on the other hand, has a temperate climate. It does not have any shrubs or trees. Thus, it is essentially a wide area of grass. Okay. Cow, there are cows grazing on a grassland or sheep grazing on a grassland. So we have forest. Okay, kagubatan. A forest is usually a small space that is filled with different types of plants because it receives plenty of rain. There are three kinds of forest: tropical rainforest, temperate rainforest, and taiga. So let us discuss it one by one. Tropical rainforest is located in tropical regions which have a high chance of rain. So palaging umuulan sa tropical rainforest. There are many tall trees in this type of forest. Thus, the animals that live here, such as monkeys, eagles, iguanas, and snakes, have developed adaptations that let them climb or fly and use the tall trees for shelter. Okay, second, we have temperate rainforest. Has cold winters and warm summers with enough rainfall all year round. There are also many trees that grow in this type of rainforest, although they are not as tall as those in tropical ones. So, they have enough rainfall, not like tropical rainforest that always raining. Temperate rainforest is average rainfall, enough. The third one is taiga. Taiga is a type of forest that is located in the northern regions of the world. Thus, the weather Thus, the weather here is very cold for almost half of the year. This forest has many birds and insects that migrate southward when the weather turns cold. So, taiga is cold, very cold weather in taiga forest. Okay, we have deserts. A desert has extremely high temperatures and a dry climate. Rainfall is rare in this ecosystem. Thus, there is a little water to be found. Only organisms with adaptation that let them survive without needing much water live here. For example, cacti, or what we also known as cactus, have shallow roots that can easily absorb and store water in their stems. Camels. Do you know what is camel? On the other hand, have one or two humps in their backs that store water. So the one that you can see in a camel here in their backs, they have a bulge here, humps. That is a storage of water for them to live. Most of the animals in a desert are nocturnal animals. So, nocturnal, and night animals. They hunt food only during night time. Next is tundras. A tundra is a frozen land that is covered in snow for most of the year. This type of ecosystem has no trees and only few kind of plants grow. Most of the animals here, including polar bears, have thick coats of fur that are usually white as snow. The color helps the animals blend in with the snow and hide themselves from predators. Now let's go to aquatic ecosystems. Aquatic ecosystem consists of the interaction of living and non-living things in any water-based environment. It has two kinds, the marine and fresh water. So what are marine ecosystems? Marine ecosystems is also known as saltwater ecosystem. Is an aquatic ecosystem that has a high concentration of salt. So, example, we have oceans. estuaries, coral reefs, and coasts. So what is ocean? Ocean is ecosystem covers most of Earth's surface. It is home to millions of plants and animals. It has three zones or layers based on how much sunlight they receive. The surface, which has an average depth of 40 meters, is called the euphotic zone and dysphotic zone and aphotic zone. So these are the three zones or layers of ocean. Again, euphotic zone, dysphotic zone, and aphotic zone. Most marine plants and plant-like organisms live in the euphotic layer because they need sunlight for food production. This includes seaweeds, marine algae, and seagrasses. Okay, we have the word phytoplankton. What is phytoplankton? Which are tiny floating organisms that serve as food to fishes, are also found in the ocean. So next, estuaries. An estuary is a place where a river meets the sea. Wow! Again, estuary is a place where a river meets the sea. It is an area where the salt water of the sea mixes with fresh water. This area is also where sediments build up from the erosion caused by streams and rivers along the riverbanks. River mouths, coastal bays, tidal marshes, and bodies of water behind barrier breaches are examples of estuaries. Now we have coral reefs. A coral reef is an underwater ecosystem that is held together by the calcium carbonate structure that are given off by organisms such as algae with calcium carbonate. Okay, what is calcium carbonate? A chemical compound present in rock shells. Mollusk. What is mollusk? A group of soft-bodied aquatic animals that include mollusks include snails, clams, squid, and sea cucumbers, and other aquatic animals with shells. Aquatic animals with shells is called mollusk. Corals are hard materials that form at the bottom of the sea from the skeletons of small animals. Most coral reefs are built from stony corals consisting of polyps. Polyps belong to a group of marine animals such as anemones. Anemones is a small, brightly colored sea animal that looks like a flower. And jellyfish. Next is the coast. A coast is also called a seashore. Again, coast is also known as seashore. It is formed by the land on the shore and the sea next to it. A coastal ecosystem has a wide variety of organisms and a distinct flow of energy. Okay, that's why we have coastal cleanup. So, when our school conducting a coastal cleanup, where shall go? Where will we go? So, we will go to the seashore. Cleanup day. Now we have the second category of aquatic ecosystem is the freshwater ecosystem. Freshwater ecosystem is shallow and has a low concentration of salt compared with a marine ecosystem. It includes slow-moving or still waters. Okay, we have example: pond, river, stream, and swamp. Okay, these four examples have low concentration of salt compared with other marine ecosystems. Okay, let's start with pond. It's a small, shallow body of water that is usually smaller than a lake. It is either natural or man-made. Since a pond is very shallow, sunlight can easily reach its bottom. Sunlight and the shallowness of a pond helps plants grow. The plants that grow in the pond serve as the main source of food for most animals and plants near it. Okay, let's go to river. River and streams. River and stream are freshwater ecosystems that have flowing water. So they have the same characteristic. The river and stream are both flowing water, which are few centimeters wide to measure rivers, which are kilometers in width. River ecosystems have the following features. Water flows with no single direction. There is a continuous physical change along the path. There are many different and changing microhabitats or microenvironments. There are differences in the speeds of the water flow. The plants and animals have adapted to living within water flow conditions. So, have you been in Lubuk River in Bohol? So, we have river in Bohol. You can find it in Lubuk. Okay, next is wetland, or also known as swamp. It is a distinct ecosystem that have the characteristic of both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem, where the surface of the land is covered with shallow water. A wetland is also described as a marshy area with soft wetland that has many grasses and other plants. All wetlands have oxygen-poor soil. Plants that live in wetlands have adapted to this condition and are able to survive temporarily without oxygen. Most wetlands give off a sulfurous odor which is similar to the odor given off by rotten eggs. Rotten eggs. This is due to the gas that is released as dead decays. Okay, that's all for the types of ecosystem. Again, we have terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial occur in land, while aquatic occur in water-based environment. And aquatic ecosystem is divided into two: marine ecosystem and freshwater ecosystem. Okay, now let's go to components of an ecosystem. Okay, components of an ecosystem. We have two: biotic and abiotic. Okay, what is biotic? From the word bio. Bio means life. Biotic components are the living things in an ecosystem. Living things include those who have life. Example, humans, plants, and animals. They work together to make the whole ecosystem work. However, they need food and energy to function well. There are three main groups of biotic components: producers, consumers, and decomposers. You can find it in a food chain. So next time we will tackle about food chain. So again, biotic are the living things in an ecosystem. So now let's go to abiotic. Abiotic are non-living things or SWATs. SWATs is an acronym. Okay, what is SWATs or non-living things? We have SWATs: S, soil; W, water; A, air; T, temperature; and S for sunlight. So these examples are all non-living. So when we say non-living, it has no life. but a main source of energy of organism. For example, soil. Most organisms need soil to survive. Next, water. Water plays a very important role. Without water, nothing will be able to function. Next, air. Air is also an important factor in an ecosystem. We cannot breathe without air. It gives plenty of benefits. Air for human, air for plant. Okay, we have temperature. Temperature supports the survival of organisms. It may also control their activities. So we feel hot, we feel cold weather. Okay, we have sunlight. Uh, Sun is the main source of energy of organism. It gives off heat and light that helps organism grow and survive. So imagine class, if we don't have sunlight, we always have nighttime. So I hope that you understand. Again, components of an ecosystem consist of two categories: biotic, the living things, and abiotic, the non-living things. Or you can to easy to remember, just spell SWOT. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you learn in our lesson, even if it's too long for you. Okay, I hope you understand in our lesson for today. And thank you for listening. Keep safe. Goodbye.